Welcome everyone to a casted game for Zerospace, and today spawning in the northwest corner of the map playing in orange, we've got Badman playing as the Protectorate faction, and his teammate is going to be Yolberson playing in red as the Grell. They're going up against, in the southeast, playing in purple, Dr. Dorrington playing as the Protectorate faction, teaming up with Liquid Fluid Bear Me, playing in teal as the Legion. Welcome everyone to Zerospace, and this 2v2 cast, we have got a tournament going on at the moment in the alpha stages of development of Zerospace, which is looking great so far. We already see Krieger versus the tech hero. Krieger coming out strong for the Legion faction for Liquid, looking to push back the tech hero. Tech hero just about gets out of there and hides in the shadows of that cliff edge, and does leave Krieger to deal with all these critters getting that valuable hexite. There's a bit of an influx of resources there. Now bear in mind that with the game being in alpha development, we might see some bugs here and there, but bear in mind this is probably the best alpha game I've seen in a long time, so the game looks fantastic, the overlays are looking good, and I'm sure we're going to be in a banger of a set. Now this is a best of 3, with the warm colours of the northwest versus the cool colours of the southeast, and well, a bit of an expert, kind of a bit of aggression here coming with the Grell hero, going to take out one of those commandos or two, and Grell hero is a strong one, does have 3 abilities, does deep burrow out of there. We didn't quite see the animation, but I assure you it did happen. Grell hero, as we can see now, respawning back onto the grass and will be healing up. Now, the Grell hero has 3 abilities. Has the Deadly Vines ability, which throws a tangle of vines at the location and it stuns enemies that are within it, but also it does 60 damage over 10 seconds. Also has the Deep Burrow ability, which we just saw, which basically teleports back to home and base. Does have the ability to consume as well, which consumes allied units to gain HP on itself, or can consume itself and spread the love and spread that HP to surrounding friendly units. Now you might be wondering, what is this being neutralized? Well, it's a control tower, and if you access that control tower, you get valuable XP that can then get you some talents for your faction. A bit of engagement here with Krieger, looking to push back the Grell hero and the tech hero 2 vs 1, although we do see Prefect Nova coming in from the north, pushing it. The Grell hero should go down, does go down. Piercing shot comes out for Krieger, doesn't quite land it, but I tell you what does land, the shot from Prefect Nova. The 2 heroes going toe to toe, and well, only one team coming out of there. And it will be the team from the southeast. They're pushing northwards now, looking to challenge that base expansion, which is a little bit greedy, a little bit undefended. Yolberson might be under pressure soon, and having lost that hero in the early game, but someone under a lot of pressure. Looking to see if there's that 3rd base expansion. There isn't, but the Thrall is going to take out the 2nd base expansion, and Yolberson needs to find a response to. We do see a couple of stingers that have been infused, which is a top bar ability for the Grell. Has the ability to infuse certain units, which, well, duplicate or doubles their strength and doubles the population capacity taken by it. Looking to push back. Now, he does keep that root colony alive for now. The Protectorate, Badman protecting his teammate, which is exactly what he needed at that moment. Now, 2 harvesters on the field already for Badman, looking to get that flux, of which there are 2 kinds. There is a flux here which has been already pre-populated on the map, and there is rich flux as well. I don't think we see the rich flux being deposited just yet, but I'll tell you what is deposited. Piercing shot coming in from Krieger, and while they're diving right on top of that fight, on top of that hill, Obelisk gets deployed by the Legion. Deadly Vines comes out for the Grell hero. Piercing shot again, going to push away the army. Oh, the Grell hero does manage to snipe off his enemy hero, and he does back away for now though, because that's a lot of units, a lot of Thralls coming on top of that ramp. And that Guardian Obelisk looking very strong there for Liquid. Liquid Fluid starting to get a bit of a hold on this game, with Dr. Dorrington pushing in as well. Krieger starting to get some of those units down, and this is an issue for the warm colours of the northwest, because their production is going to be camped on, and those commandos are not going to stand a chance when they do spawn. There's too many Thralls. But take a look at that. The Grell hero does use the Deadly Vines ability, does get a little bit of value from those Thralls being damaged, but I don't think it's quite enough. And veterancy coming in from a couple of those commandos. You can see veteran level 3 having killed 3 units. Now this is a bit of a tricky situation, I gotta say, for the warm colours of the west. They did expand, and well, they expanded at a bit of a risky time, because the Legion and the Protectorate from the southeast starting to push back. But take a look at this, here come the Chaku Rageborns, gonna push this back quite nicely there. And good thing they got the mercenaries out there on the field. The Grell, Yolberson holding that line for now, taking out that light turret. That light turret is one of the abilities for the Prefect Nova, by the way. So Prefect Nova has 3 abilities, as many heroes do. Not all, but many do. The Prefect Nova has the ability to construct that light turret, which has a beam attack that increases significantly over 30 seconds, but it also slows down the movement of enemies by a good 50%. The other two abilities is Charge, where you can kind of, well, I guess charge across the map a little distance very quickly. And the third ability is the Stun Blast, which, as you can imagine, does a bit of stun blasting. Talking about blasting, though, those Grell units starting to push their way forward and managed to blast a couple of those Legion ones. Getting control of that central tower gets that valuable XP, which now has been translated into various talents. Wrath coming in there for Liquid, going to be able to deploy those mines when the thralls do die, taking a bit of an engagement here. A couple of, well, one of those strikers actually getting so much value, pushing those stingers away, at least for now. The second talent coming in, reused equipment for the Legion, meaning that thralls that do go down refund 25% of their cost. Oh, that's a bit of a throwaway of those units. A couple of those strikers, two of them in fact, picking away a couple of those protectorate units. Does recall one of the strikers in time. In fact, he recalls most of them, and, well, it wasn't a throwaway in the end. Maximizing the use of that top bar ability. Now, if you're wondering what that top bar ability was, it was a recall ability for the protectorate. Manages to teleport the units back home and does give them a bit of extra help. But look at that, the Grell trying to charge forward with a couple of stingers, but the strikers on the back line getting so much value for the protectorate by Dr. Dorrington. Now it's time to push. He's going to leave those stingers around alive. The Deadly Vines ability comes out for the Grell hero just to stop that push a little bit. We see Badman helping Yolberson a little bit. Takes the engagement, 2 versus 1 at this point. Although, I take the back, there are thralls there for Liquid with Krieger as well on the back line. Getting huge amounts of value. Grell hero is still staying alive. The tech hero did go down in the end. A couple of Harbingers, they're good to hold that line, but it doesn't quite manage it. Those thralls starting to outnumber. And while the initial aggression was from this area before, earlier on the match, and while it's continuing, we do see now a healing obelisk coming out for the Legion. One of 3 obelisks. We saw the Guardian obelisk earlier. This is the healing obelisk, and there is also a phasing obelisk, which we'll probably talk about a little bit later. Deadly Vines comes out for the Grell hero once again. A couple of strikers though, that's going to be helpful for Badman in protecting this northern area. Striker though needs to be careful, does go down there for Dr. Dorrington. 2 of them in fact, and it looks like Liquid going to try and hold this position on that healing tower. Here come the Avengers. And also a Juggernaut coming out there for Dr. Dorrington. Starting to pack a punch. We can see the teching up of these units. And a second healing obelisk for the Legion. Really synergizing well. 2 strikers rather, caught a little bit unprotected. And this is looking tricky now for the Warm Colors of the Northwest. They're being pressurized, but here come a couple of reinforcements as well to join that fight. There are Bastions that do a little bit of splash damage. Does have fragmentation shells as well, which certainly help. It does have a Valkyrie Flamewalker mercenary unit to help protect that area, but will it be enough? I'm not so sure. Krieger still leading that front line. The Juggernaut getting so much value. Rageborns in the north with the Chakra Crab. Juggernaut deploys its flame ability around it. Makes it difficult for the enemies to surround it too close. But a decent pushback. I'm not sure it's going to be enough though. The Chakra Mercenary is helping. Here come the Valkyrie Hounds, just about to try and jump on top of the Krieger unit, but take a look at that Striker deploying off the west side there for Liquid, splitting up his army in a really smart fashion. Those Hounds might pick away that Striker though. In fact, they kind of in fact, those are, wait a minute, are those actually, I think that might be but yeah, I think there's a Liquid Hounds. Holy moly, he came out there from the back. And this is looking a hard hold now. I'm not so sure. Yolberson trying to make sure he keeps his production alive as long as possible. There's the advanced augmentation pool that does go down before the upgrade comes in. Look at the talents coming in. Having access to 3 control towers means you get that valuable XP. Gets those talents up nice and quickly. And well, things are starting to scale pretty well. The chat crew mercenaries on the field though. A couple of them have been infused. Go Hero on the back line. Looking to use the Deadly Vine ability on the Prefect Nova. Prefect Nova still standing tall. Backed up by 3 Juggernauts. And they're juggernauting their way through. This is looking tricky for the Warm Colors of the West. But they're still in it because there's only 2 base expansions really for the Cool Colors of the East. so far, but that might start to spiral out of control. Definitely have the military advantage, and we do start to see the level 5 talents coming in. That's going to be giving them a lot of pressure very soon. The ultimate abilities are through. We might start to see them being deployed, but here we are. Here comes the aggression on the northeast, and it's like the Protectorate definitely forming a good, firm stronghold of that area. And Dr. Dorrington pulling all the strings at this point. Looks like Liquid is coming in with another expansion as well, making sure the eco, the macro is strong, and making sure that even if they do lose this potential area, they will have expanded their economy. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The damage has been done. Liquid Fluid and Dr. Dorrington take game number 1, with game number 2 coming right up. Welcome everyone to game number 2 for this best of 3 series. We have in the Northwest playing in, well, I guess magenta, pink, that kind of purpley light purple color. We've got Liquid playing as the Legion, teaming up with Liquid. Of course, we've got Dr. Dorrington playing in orange as the Protectorate faction, and their opponents in the southeast. We've got Yolberson playing in purple, burgundy, as the Grell. Teaming up with Yolberson, we've got Badman playing in green as the Protectorate. Welcome everyone to Planes versus 2v2. That's the map for today, and this is game number 2. So high stakes, because of course the winners of this will actually progress to the semi-finals. And it is match point. It's a best of 3, of course, so Liquid and Dr. Dorrington just need to win this game and they will be through. But will Badman and Yolberson have something to say and do about that? That's the question. Plenty of Harvesters coming out on the map already, by the way. 2 each for Dr. Dorrington and Liquid. We see Krieger coming on the map for Liquid. No changes on that front in terms of heroes. Tech Hero coming in for Badman. Going toe-to-toe. Doesn't quite land that hit there in the end. The Tech Hero, and well, it looks like the Legion will control this central tower. Has already access to the west tower, and that will mean plenty of XP coming in for those talents. In the northeast though, making a bit of a sneaky play here. Prefect Nova coming out there for Dr. Dorrington. Looking to control that east tower, but take a look at this. The Krieger's got to be careful. There's Grell Hero and Tech Hero in the middle of the map. Looking to give out that position now. Probably a smart move. As you see that little timer there, that is the second of the 2 resources. Flux. The rich form of the Flux going to be coming out. Looking to be mined very shortly. East control tower has been captured though for Dr. Dorrington, and about to take the engagement, and does use the Deadly Mind's ability. Fighting fire with fire though. This is tricky with a couple of those stingers and also Protectorate commanders coming out, but unfortunately, well, Dr. Dorrington did lose his hero. Prefect Nova goes down. The Grell and Tech Hero, they double up, they team up from the southeast to push on ahead, taking out the first blood, the first hero to go down. Belongs to the team in the northwest, the warm colors of the west, who are currently leading this set. But this set isn't by no means over. We see the infusion, top bar ability coming out for the Grell. Looking to infuse a couple of stingers, that could be a problem, and you can see that line formation coming up from Liquid. Just to make sure that the map is visible. Make sure there's no enemies trickling in. No run-bys coming out from those stingers, which could potentially happen now if he tries to get wrap around on those Thralls. Thralls have been backing away. They do use the Deadly Mind ability there. Grell Hero looking to try and stun a lot of those Thralls. Did get a good landing on that, by the way. Going to snipe out a lot of those Thralls and a good wrap around on those stingers. Quite a few units taken apart. Good, a little bit of aggression here from Yolberson. Getting good value so far. Does use another Deadly Mind's ability. Gets right on top of the Thralls. This is turning into a great fight, especially with those infused stingers on the east side. Commanders versus Commandos. The Tech Hero does use a swap ability. Krieger just about didn't quite make it there. Tried to teleport, tried to recall himself out of there, but ended up dying in the end. And Deadly Mind's ability comes out once again. Third hit in a row. And he's doing well with that here for sure. Prefect Nova coming down the ramp, looking to try and protect and solidify that position. Bastions and Commandos starting to push away. The Grell and the Protectorate coming in from the southeast. Good pushback now. The Grell here needs to back away. Has done a lot of damage. Light turret gets deployed by Prefect Nova, looking to stop that push any further. 2 control towers on the west side, and the talents have started to come in for both teams. It will be movement speed 10% extra there for Yolberson. Improved beam up coming in for Badman. Wrath ability, or talent I should say, for Liquid. And vehicle engines coming from Dr. Dorrington. That kind of shows you maybe a future plan for Dr. Dorrington and the Protectorate. Maybe a couple of Juggernauts, maybe a couple of Avengers be gracing our screens soon. Although I say that, it's got Infantry Walker for tier 2, so we don't know. reused equipment coming in for Liquid. So making sure the thralls that do go down get that little bit of 25% kickback, a little bit of a refund, a little bit of recycling that you also want to get. We do see Bastions out there on the field. No fragmentation shells just yet, which is an upgrade for the Bastion, but I'm sure we'll see that in time. Commando being peeled off on the west side, looking to get a bit of scouting information more than anything. Now 3 control towers coming in for the team in the southeast, which will be putting them in a great position to catch up on those talents. But he's got to keep control of them for now, for sure. Oh, Stingers get a good wraparound on the light turret. Light turret does go down. Prefect Nova trying to get a good hit there. The Grell here does land with the Deadly Vines, only just. We do start to see those Rageborns. Holy moly, that's infused, and that's a big boy. Yep, you're right, Liquid. You're going to have to defend that spot, that's for sure, because that Rageborn is, well, he's looking rageful. Looks like Badman as well, pressurizing that area. They're coming across to meet in the middle, though, slightly. Does recall those units there, Dr. Dorrington, just as well, because he's about to get surrounded by those Stingers. Bastion got left behind. He does get surrounded in the end. That's a lot of Rageborn. Oh, we do see a nuke, though, coming out for Krieger. Doesn't quite land on too much, but still the Rageborn's really tanking on that front line. Recall ability comes out for Liquid just as well, and doesn't want to take that fight unnecessarily. We'll lose a Harvester, though, in the middle of the map, and this is where things become really interesting, because it feels like the cool colors of the southeast. We're now looking to get a bit of map control and that second control tower, but take a look at this. We do see a Juggernaut on the field, led by a Prefect Nova, and a couple of Bastions on the back line. Gonna back away, though. There's a lot of thralls coming out for Liquid. It has expanded to a second base as well, and that economy will be rocking and rolling. Third base expansion coming out for Badman, macroing it up, and that could be doing well for him in the mid to late game. We shall see if he gets that far, because of course, sometimes in Zerospace, things can change in a blink of an eye. And, well, he had the eye for that. He's definitely picking off a couple of units there. Well, almost did. Dr. Dorrington, but keeping an close eye where he can get some value. Oh, could get surrounded, though. This is going to be interesting on the west. It looks like Liquid going to try and put some pressure on in the south and on the east. It looks like Dr. Dorrington splitting off, going that direction. And that's kind of an interesting play. Needs to be careful not to be caught. It's going to be giving a decision process, though. Oh, does get a nuke there. Does kill a couple of those commandos. Takes the engagement. Striker on the back line. Going to be focusing a lot of the thralls, but there's just so many of those thralls. A couple of those Bastions do come out that do now have the fragmentation shells upgrade. And well, with the Guardian Obelisks looking firm here, there's going to be a problem to deal with. Does recall a couple of those Strikers. And on the right side, though, Rageborn going to look to try and join that fight ever so shortly. He's going to have to. The Oberson is to try and cut off this Thrall's retreat, and they look to try and do that. Here come the Grell units. The recall ability comes out there for Liquid. It did damage, and now he retreats. But, well, with that retreat, again, it means that the warm colors of the southeast can venture out onto the mid-map once again and neutralize that control tower. Yolberson getting the Talent 3. Infused Lifesteal also has got improved infusion. Dr. Dorrington, for his third talent, went up for Elite Infantry, so expecting to see a couple more infantry units into the mix, possibly, and Badman needs to look to get his extra talents as soon as he can, really. Does recall those units just as well. Now you can see the high-level nature of the players. They're not throwing away units, for sure, using the abilities when they need to, when they can. Tech Hero leading that line. Just be careful, though. Great game for Zerospace so far. Game number 2. All to play for to progress to that semi-finals. Thralls venturing out once again and going to get us around on the west side back. 2 Strikers, actually. That's a good value unit against the Legion and the Legion Thralls. On the east side, looks like a bit of a skirmish here. The Juggernaut going to hold firm. Those Stingers aren't going to be able to get a good wrap around the Juggernaut. Not with the flames have activated. Couple of Bastions caught a little bit. Prefect Nova trying to push those Stingers back as much as they can. Juggernaut still, I mean, he might get us around now, though. He used the ability once already, and he can't use it just again. Oh, it does go down. Tried to recall it in the end. That's a high premium unit that has been lost, and the Grell be happy with that little bit of a skirmish on the west side, though. A bit of an engagement here for sure. We do start to see those disruptors on the field coming out for Badman. Adding in the Valkyrie Hounds could be dangerous. Rageborn looking to try and snipe down a couple of those Thralls if they can, but good micro, of course, as we'd expect from Liquid. Coming out with a nuke, though, does deploy. Doesn't necessarily hit too, I mean, he gets a lot of those units in the end anyway. 3 Strikers start to possibly kind of edge towards those thralls. Got to be careful. Liquid does hold off for now. Needs to wait for his reinforcements from his teammate, and they are approaching that position now from the north. The Striker's about to deploy in the middle now. I do like what the warm colours of the cool colours of the southeast are doing. They're controlling the middle. They're grouping together. They've got a good strong backline of those Strikers, making it a little bit difficult for the warm colours of the west to get a good surround. Tech hero does go down though, and we do see another hero, the Gallivax, coming out for the Legion. This is where the Legion can come to their own. They can be incredibly strong with multiple heroes on the field at any one moment. Does have a couple of the Dread Snipers on the background as well, and this is where the Legion start to look strong, gotta say. Oh, does deploy the Dead Divine's ability, the Grell hero, and take out a lot of their thralls. This is maybe a bit of an overstep there by Liquid. Dr. Dorrington isn't anywhere to be found just yet, and that could be because it's expanded to a third core base relatively early, I think, and we'll see how much the income is coming in. Yet 900 hexite per minute, not too shabby at all. Yolberson and Badman already at that point though, and this is where the situation is a bit tricky for Liquid, trying to hold on this front line, and maybe Dr. Dorrington is teching up. There's quite a high possibility of that, and that would account for the lack of seemingly... No, I take it back, he's got units on the east side. The Legion really starting to make a way in through, and recall ability comes out for the Protectorate and Badman just to save those units before they go down. The Healing Obelisk. One of three obelisks rather for the Legion. We're going to have to come back to that because we do see a behemoth on the field coming up for the Grell as well as those Chaco Rageborns. It looks like all of a sudden Yolberson is starting to make some really good headway on the right side. And this is a tricky situation for Dr. Dorrington. He's going to need help, and it looks like the Legion will oblige. They look to try and cut off those reinforcements. Does deploy that massive explosion. Will he get value out of this? Doesn't get too much to manage to escape there in the end. Rageborn gets out, but Deadly Vines gets deployed really nicely on top of the thralls. Coming off the west side, Disruptors, good surround there from the west and the east. This is looking to be a great engagement. The Legion kind of caught out a little bit. The Hounds trying to chase them down. Dr. Dorrington coming in from the east side though with a Juggernaut and 3 Strikers. A huge fight in the middle of the map. This is a bit tricky. Deadly Vines' ability gets deployed once again. This could be a critical fight in this game. We shall see if this fight holds the game and holds the key for the game. We shall see. Gallivax does deploy the Fireball ability. Behemoth still on that backline. Rageborns, 2 of them still remain, but Thrall's looking in good numbers, especially with the Healing Obelisk. It looks like Liquid is starting to make a movement on the west side. Dr. Dorrington holding in the north. A couple of those Disruptors still on the backline, helping out the Grell units where they can. Thresher and the Behemoth on the retreat though, and they have to back away quickly. Robertson has a lot of expansion points though. He needs to keep this eco alive if he can. That could be his way back into the game, but he needs those units. Really struggling down to... Oh, well, I mean, he's down to 54 supply, Robertson, but so is Dr. Dorrington. Very much similar numbers, and a lot of those units do get teleported back there with the recall ability for Liquid. Looking to regroup, looking to recover, looking to reset in the north. This is a bit of an engagement with Badman, helping out his teammate, keeping his teammate's economy safe and secure for now, which is so critical. This could be a clutch play by Badman, I've got to say, keeping his teammate alive in the eco. Because if they did push in there, the warm colours of the northwest, it could have been a problem. If Fused Grell units coming out with a lot of those stingers, that's a dangerous number of units, I've got to say. Taking out the static defences in the form of that Guardian Obelisk. Once that goes down, it makes things a bit tricky. Now, I might even look to pressurise this northern expansion. We'll just see if they even spot it. But things certainly looking up for that. And we do see Liquid, though, and Dr. Dorrington having their ultimate abilities. And, well, we can't quite see what they are just at this point. It's gonna be, I think it's going to be Airstrike Dr. Dorrington. We see him do it quite often. We shall see if we have any air. Oh, wow, we see a lot of Grell units looking to try and snipe out. That expansion point does get it in the end. It's going to back away once he's done that eco damage. This is going to be looking a little bit tricky for Dr. Dorrington. When we look at this, we've got to see the ritual site coming out there. Thrall's being sacrificed. Ladies and gentlemen, we see the Emperor projection coming out on the field. This could be the big game changer, and it could be coming out for Liquid. We shall see. I mean, ultimately at this point, the team in the southeast have got to be very, very careful. Moving across the field, this is what the Legion do best at times. They sacrifice, they serve. And we have to see if this Emperor can serve the Protectorate on a dish served cold. Try to get out a lot of the infrastructure as he can, but it's not the most powerful Emperor, I've got to say. What he does do is he gives them time. The warm colours of the northwest gives them map control, forces the enemy to address the situation, makes them pull their army back. And meanwhile, in the north, He's pushing back here. Dr. Dorrington picked up that the population supply. Looking to do some eco damage if he can. The Emperor gets taken down for the Legion and gets sniping off there by Badman, but he's got another army to deal with in the north, and the Grell are struggling to hold his position for now at least. As I say that though, it does come in with the units from the south with Rageborns and the Behemoth. Airstrike ability comes out there for the Protector. Dr. Dorrington gets huge value with that. Looking strong so far. Oh, that could be huge nuke ability. Does get it. Wait, he's got to move. He did move. He moved mostly. It was fine. It's fine. We see the Terror Tank coming up for the Legion, pretty much fully kitted up with those turrets and pushing back a lot of the Protectorate army, even with the Disruptor. Nuke gets off, but doesn't get too much value out of it. The Flowers comes out for the Grell. A lot of Guardian Obelisks. Going to be holding that front line, at least buying some time. Airstrikes, though, do come out for Badman this time. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was Dr. Dorrington, I believe. I don't know. Apologies, it was for Badman, of course. Coming with the 5th ability. Liquid has to back away, though. He's being pushed heavily. That's a lot of army coming out for Badman. A lot of heavily army. Look at that. 2 Juggernauts. A lot of strikers. This could be a death ball of army from the Protectorate. He might be possibly 2v1, and should be able to hold even then. Do you see still a decent number of Grell units adding to that fight, by the way? He's being very aggressive with them as well. Alright, hopefully a bit of a calm before another storm. Just to let you guys know, I am feeling a bit unwell at the moment, so that probably explains the voice. I apologise for that in advance, but I'm obviously going to try and do as best of a job as I possibly can. That Terror Tank is going to be doing the same. He's going to try and look to do the best job he possibly can to try and push over on the middle of the map. Airstrike's coming. Oh, that's absolutely huge. He lost so many units there with that airstrike ability. Badman coming with a clutch of a play, coming in with reinforcements, coming in with the Valkyrie Tobok, which is an absolute phenomenal unit with 1000 HP, looking to move across the map with the Rageborn, which has been infused. And slowly but surely, they're starting to make inroads on this map, you feel. There's a phasing obelisk, but a massive fight here. All sorts of directions. Airstrikes coming in, though, this time for Dr. Dorrington. Getting good value, but a lot of Juggernauts coming out for Dr. Dorrington. I mean, that is looking strong for sure, that army. Grell Hero does deploy the Deadly Vines of Elite. Badman comes with a lot of units himself from the south. Mostly strikers at this point, with the Juggernaut in reinforcement. But take a look at this. The Terror Tank starting to lead that line. He's having to back away. Airstrikes come in again for Badman. This is a great play by him. Leading the line in terms of the production and the population supply. Badman has been playing this well, I've got to say. And we see another Emperor going to be making his way onto the field very soon. Coming in from the east, airstrikes get deployed, doesn't take the bait. He loses a couple of units, but could have been a lot worse. And Badman coming in again, maybe from the south. Yeah, the Grell units popping forward. And the big fight here, there the Valkyrie has like to take that out, and they did take that out in the end. Emperor spawns nonetheless. Huge engagements there, massive airstrikes, and the Toborts leading that charge. The Grell really pushing forward, takes out the Terror Tank. The Emperor is having to be defensive more than anything, does go down in the end. That's a massive pickoff. That is not what you want to see as the Legion. Your Emperor dying almost in the vicinity of your base. Badman making a move for the west side, looking to take that eco damage to his enemies. And if he takes out the expansion points, that could be very tricky for the Legion to rebuild that army. They may not be able to do it. He's got to keep those Chakru warriors alive though if he can, the Grell. Make sure he doesn't lose that position, especially with Badman pushing on the west side. Up to 185 supply. Badman leading the lines. It does lose a couple of those units though with the nuke deployed, but it just feels like he doesn't really care. He's going to go right on top of that hill and then take out even further infrastructure. Tech Hero leading that charge. And whilst it looks like the Grell have lost a lot of the units, by the way, so Dr. Dorrington could be okay in the northeast. He's actually going to come in from the south. That could be a clutch play. If he can get a good surround on Badman's army, that could be devastating. But don't forget, Badman could always reclaim his army. He might need to do that, especially with the second nuke coming down. And I think he needs to recall. He's got to. Flowers gets deployed there for for Badman, so we'll be helping his situation a little bit. Coming from the south though, here come the Grell assisting his teammate right at the best possible time. The Badman does lose a lot of his units, down to 100 supply, but he's dished out so much damage, and it was probably worth it in the end. And because of the infrastructure damage he's done, it means that, well, Liquid will find it difficult to rebuild his army. Coming out with those Chakra Warriors, again, infused, doing so much damage. They're really focusing on the Legion, as you can see. And it's probably the right move. If he can take out the Legion, obviously it does a lot of damage, but also makes it very much the fact that Dorrington will have to carry if he can. But Liquid definitely bearing the brunt of the last few minutes of attack, and Juggernaut does deploy the flame ability, looking to try and hold that position as best as he possibly can. Here comes another nuke, gets out of there mostly. Badman coming in with another wave from the south. Now bear in mind, Dr. Dorrington has expanded his economy very well. Oh, the Chakra, they may be overextended a little bit there. Might lose a couple of these if he's not careful. Going to get surrounded by the Thralls. He pulls out the right possible time. He's got to. Just as well as he did, otherwise that army would have been gone. Good thing Yolberson, he's paying attention. You need to be at this stage of the game. One false move can be the end of the game. Badman looking to get surrounded on the west side potentially. He thinks better of it. Backs away for now. And looks like the cool colours of the southeast looking to... They're quite content just to hold back for now. Airstrike ability comes out for Badman once again. A great shot off them, and now this could be something that snowballs quite well if they decide to push Chakra Warriors from the east, the Disruptors from the west for Badman. Now they start to really push quite coordinatively towards the north, and they're damage to Liquid. Now they feel like they need to take out Dr. Dorrington. Guess a good airstrike ability to Dr. Dorrington, pushing this back slightly. But will it be enough? That's the question. Nuke ability does get deployed, takes out one of those Valgaro Tobots, which is a big snipe in the end. I've got to say, Yolberson is very aggressive with his army. He's very assured, he's very confident. And with good reason, he's been doing quite a bit of damage on this side for a while. Dr. Dorrington down to 85 supply. He's been holding his own for sure. Here come a couple of Atlases as well. The Atlases dishing all sorts of damage. The Chakra Warriors have been alive for so long, but a lot of them do go down to that nuke. He needs to back away for now. Does have a Thresher that might just camp on top of that hill. Does deploy itself, looking to hold that position firmly. Badman still at 115 supply, leading that in that direction, in that metric. A lot of expansions coming out from Yolberson. The same can be said for Dr. Dorrington. Great game for Zerospace so far, and I'd just like to say, if you have been enjoying the cast so far, make sure you do give the video a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube later, because there's going to be plenty of Zerospace content coming your way. Make sure if you enjoy the game, wishlist it on Steam. It's probably the best way to support Zerospace and the developers so far, and I think, you know, they are deserving of our support considering the way the game is at the moment. Bear in mind, this is in alpha stages of development. Look how good it looks for alpha. It's good. It's good. We can say that much. Well, looks like Dr. Dorrington is starting to push on the east side, looking to do some eco damage. Gives the decision-making issue for Badman. Dr. Dorrington, though, does recall out of there. A couple of Legion units, 2 Legion heroes still remain. Krieger and Galavax takes the engagement. Oh, this could be a good fight for both players, potentially. Depends how well it's microed, but this is looking definitely good for Badman. Coming with the Disruptors in the south, gets a lot of damage out. Galavax uses the Fireball ability, gets in one of those Confused Chakra Warriors. Behemoth, they're still alive for the Grell. This is looking good for the cool colours of the southeast. They're looking to draw out the set, make it 1-1 if they can. A huge flurry of attacks are coming in. Airstrike's about to come out though for Dr. Dorrington. Gets huge amounts of value, but again, these tanks still standing firm for Badman. Although, will it survive another round of those airstrikes? I'm not so sure. Dr. Dorrington, he needs more of a front line. He's going to be ambushed here on the production. If he loses the production, that could be GG. We'll have to see if he manages to hold this line. The Legion trying to hold that ramp as best he can. Grell, though, keeping him preoccupied. See devastation on the tanks. And looks like those factories might go down. Airstrike ability comes out once again for Dr. Dorrington. but manages to pull out the way their bad man. Oh, really getting an airstrike on those Thralls. He does manage to back away there, Liquid. Really crucial that he did that, because if he lost those Thralls, it would have been his last, or possibly his last line of defense. He possibly could have produced a bit more. After that, we'll never know at this point, because he never took the bait and never got hit by the airstrikes in that critical moment. But this is an issue for Dr. Dorrington, because he's actually starting to lose a bit of infrastructure, a little bit of economy as well. And that's going to be scaling quite nicely for the cool colors of the southeast. They've done a lot of damage earlier to Liquid. Now they're doing damage to Dr. Dorrington, sniping out heroes where they can. And I think Liquid needs to help him out. He needs some support. He's getting that support. But Yolberson was super aggressive. Like, he's confident, even with 2 versus 1. He wants to take a good trade, and I think he did. The Infused Thresher backing away for now. Holy moly, that is big. Badman coming in from the south. Looking to try and catch the Legion unawares. Gallivax does use the Fireball ability, but that's a lot of tanks coming in for Badman, I gotta say. Airstrike ability comes up for Dr. Dorrington on top of those tanks, but with only 1 or 2 airstrike abilities coming on top of them, there's so many tanks still holding firm. And again, Grell using the army so well. He's very active, getting value where he can. On the west side, Badman doing the exact same thing, and he's going to be forcing. Oh, I love this play. Because what he's doing, he's splitting up the warm colors of the west in the northwest. They're splitting up the army, forced by this play. Badman going west, Yolberson going east, knowing that the army is going to have to spread thinly, and is doing critical infrastructural damage once again. Splitting up the army, though. I'm not so sure about this issue. He's fighting with half his army. Now groups them together once again. Avoids a lot of the airstrikes. But this is a good, decent engagement here for Liquid. I gotta say, he's picking up a lot of those tanks. And recall ability comes out for Badman. Better late than never. And does save up a lot of these. But look at this. An infused Reaver. That's going to be doing a lot of damage. He needs to be careful, though, because the mobility of it is not all that fantastic. But he's going to do lots of infrastructural damage. It's super tanky. And this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. He's been cut off a lot of his eco. And now the Grell are attacking on the east side. It looks like Badman coming in from the south once again to help his teammate. We shall see. Yep, the Grell backing away for now. Looking to take out the other expansions. And this is an issue, right? Because Yolberson expanded a lot. But so did Dr. Dorrington. As we say that, though, those expansions for Dr. Dorrington starting to be picked apart now. And I don't think there's any way to save this. Not for a while. And yeah, this is looking tricky. The supply not looking healthy for the warm colors of the west. It looks like maybe, ladies and gentlemen, we might be pushed into a game 3. You'd love to see it. Pushing hard in the northeast, and we'll be taking down that expansion. It might, I mean, you should be able to see it through, but it might be caught off. Threshers do deploy in a good spot. Legion recall for now. Looks like Dr. Dorrington's going to have to back away now. Yeah, they're going to have to give out that position, I'm afraid. But it's not all over just yet. They have a chance to reset, to regroup. Although Badman trying to put a thorn in that work. Pushing in on the west side once again. Yeah, really limiting the expansions now. Look at Badman. Look at the expansions being super aggressive with that, and rightly so. But, oh, that's a great use of the nuke ability. It's going to get cornered. Badman needs to recall if he can. I'm not so sure he can, because otherwise he would have. Now we see Weapon X coming out there for Badman. Spawning on the field, looking to do some damage. Now, the benefit of this is that if it does get destroyed, it will set off a nuclear damage. It is stunned. He's not being able to get on top of the ramp. Badman going to try and get on top of the floors if he can. It looks like the Weapon X won't make it too far into the base. Yeah, unfortunately for him, doesn't quite manage. But there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Yolberson and Badman, they equalize the set. What a game of Zerospace. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere, because we're heading into game number 3. Welcome everyone to a casted game for Zerospace, but it's a very special one. We have got game number 3 in this 2v2 tournament, and we have got, spawning in the north corner of the map, playing in pink, we've got Yolberson, playing as the Grell faction. Teaming up with Yolberson will be Badman, playing in orange as the Protectorate. They'll be going up against the team in the southeast, playing in red. We've got Liquid, playing as the Legion, and his teammate will be none other than Dr. Dorrington, playing in purple as the Protectorate. Welcome everyone to Plains 2v2, and this is game number 3. Everything to play for. The winners of this game will win the set, and we'll go to that coveted semi-finals of the very first ever 2v2 tournament for Zerospace. And we see the tech hero coming forward for Badman. Was an influential hero in the last game. We shall see how much he's able to do this game. We see Prefect Nova looking to use a Stun Blast ability. Doesn't quite land. It does use the charge ability to try and catch up with the Tech Hero. Tech Hero might go down. Because we do see Krieger as well from the Legion. Tries to recall but doesn't quite manage it. Grell Hero didn't make it in time. And unfortunately for Badman, loses his hero early on. Puts the team at a bit of a disadvantage. But can they make their way back? That is the big question. But certainly the first steps here looking good here for the cool colours of the southeast.
Commander, we have detected atmospheric re-entry, some valuable scrap. Send a scavenger to collect it.
Now what this does allow is that map control to come into play and get those control towers, although Grell here looking to try to do the best to try and contest it, does use the Deadly Mind's ability on Krieger. Krieger trying to retreat and get out of there, probably should be able to. Grell Hero look to try and chase that down somewhat. Expansions coming in nice and early for Yolberson and Liquid. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you guys have been enjoying the content so far in this series, and if you have, please feel free to give the video a thumbs up. More importantly, share the idea and the game of Zerospace far and wide where you can, because it's going to be a great game. The best way you can support it really at this point is to wishlist it on Steam. And we see a little bit of an aggression here coming in from the west side. Dr. Dorrington putting some pressure in as the Protectorate. Does have a turret on top of that. Supply depot though, so it's going to find it difficult to get too much value. The opposite, Badman. Badman holding firm on that side. So Liquid going to be heading back with his thralls, 4 of them, and Krieger. And second base expansion now does come out for Badman. As we saw, he really macroed super well in the last game, and he had a high population, high capacity for a long time. We shall see if he decides to do something very similar in today's game. In this best of 3, this last game, which will decide who goes to the semi-finals, so it's definitely going to be an important game for sure for these 4 players involved. Looking to take a bit of an engagement, looking to maybe fight over the rich flux, which it does look like Badman, he wants that. He wants it desperately. Going to send the Harvester forward and maybe gets a couple of hits, but he's going to tank a little bit, which is not necessarily a bad thing though. Stun ability comes in there for Prefect Nova. He teleports out of there because of the Rageborn and the Grell. Now looking to neutralize that control tower. Now if you're new to Zerospace, welcome, but more importantly, these control towers that gives you valuable XP, that gives you talents, which we do see a couple of these heroes' abilities getting deployed. Krieger tried to use the toxic piercing shot rather. It has got a control tower there, a obelisk rather, which is definitely a nice staging ground to attack from. And you can see Liquid and Dr. Dorrington really wanting to cement their position in this game, get that map control as much as they possibly can, and they've got it. The early loss of the hero there, the tech hero, has been hurting them in this game. All 3 control towers for the team in the southeast means the talents will get there higher and to a higher level and get those talents in nice and early. As you can see, level 2 already involved. Infantry walker damage and also improved beam up coming in for Dr. Dorrington. Reused equipment and Wrath coming in for Liquid. Improved beam up for Badman and movement speed for Yolberson. Starting to pressurize that control tower in the center a little bit. We'll neutralize it. Backing away now, Badman. Takes engagement in the southwest. Those Rageborn's getting so much value. A lot of the commanders going to be going down. Look to try and do the jump jet ability out of there. Light turret comes out there for Prefect Nova. The Grell hero, though, getting a lot of value himself. Guardian Obelisk gets deployed for the Legion, and they're pushing hard here. Liquid and Dr. Dorrington. They're pushing hard, forcing the Grell and the Protector back there. Does use the Deadly Mind's ability, which gives them a good way up. But look at that massive piercing shot. Comes out for Krieger. Takes out a lot of those commanders. Commanders have to go and hide behind on top of that hill as much as they possibly can at this point. And it's going to get a good... I mean, this is an interesting one. It's kind of surrounded in some ways. But if you can pick away this Grell hero, it does use the Deadly Mind ability. The Grell hero in the end. One Rageborn still survives. A decent number of thralls there for Liquid. We could take out possibly the Harvester actually. Might even be able to snipe it. Should be able to. We'll reset the spawn timer on that unit. And Liquid and Dr. Dorrington starting to group up a lot on the southwest. This is an issue though for the warm colors of the northwest. I gotta say, like, whilst infrastructural damage has been done, the mid-map objectives, the control tower firmly in the grasp of Liquid and Dr. Dorrington, and that's going to scale their army really well in terms of power. And those talents, as you can see now, performance enhancers come in, as well as elite infantry. Now, the infantry units from the Protectorate are going to be looking so good here for Dr. Dorrington. Looks solid. Going up in the north. The Legion not starting to pressurize, might look to snipe at the Harvester, and that Harvester will go down. I suspect the Legion, once taking the Harvester down, will back away. In fact, does get deployed on with those deadly mines, but he cuts off the retreat. This is a bit of a commitment here for the Legion, maybe a bit of an overcommitment, especially with the Rageborn involved. So good fight back there for the Grell, although maybe doesn't have quite enough. Waiting for his teammate to add to the fight with a couple of Avengers, and a couple of those Commandos does recall a decent number of those Thralls in the end. All is not lost there for Liquid, saved quite a decent number of those units. All in all, pretty decent for both sides, but maybe Liquid just got the better of it. But they're looking solid now. Dr. Dorrington keeping his army firmly on the enemy side of the map. And denying that rich flux, by the way. So bear in mind, it's not just the control towers getting XP that is super important as a mid-map objective. Don't forget the rich flux deposits. There are two types of flux in Zerospace. There's the standard one, which is like pre-spawned and pre-populated. And there's ones that are dropped off in the mid-map. And you really want to gather that if you can. In the north, though, Thralls making their entrance once again. There is Galavax now, the second hero for the Legion, using the Fireball ability to great effect. There's just not enough units here, you feel, for the Grell. For Yolberson is struggling. He does have 3 base expansion, but take a look, Liquid has 4. That economy going to scale him really nicely. Liquid definitely leading the line in terms of economy, getting 960 hexite per minute. Badman, though, coming to his teammates' aid, and just as well, does deploy the Deadly Vines ability. Great usage of that ability on that ramp, and a lot of the Thralls do go down. A couple of those Stingers trying to get a surround on the Thralls, but look at that. Galavax comes in with the Fireball ability to take out a lot of those remaining Stingers, and nice hold there on top of that ramp. Three control towers looking so strong. Look at the talents coming in. Gets the power to destroy Liquid and improve crisis response, Dr. Dorrington. And now even has airstrike. We saw how strong Dr. Dorrington was using that ability, the ultimate ability for the Protectorate. And he's got access to it once again. And the beautiful thing for the Legion is when they do lose units, they'll be deploying those mines. The Fireball ability comes out on top of those Commandos. Gets a good amount of damage out on them. Grell units trying to chase them down onto the bottom of the rank, on the bottom of the rank rather. The ramp, though, he's firmly in control of the Grell for now. Rageborn's trying to hold that line. Piercing shot comes out for Krieger. Going to be helping out is that healing obelisk for the Legion. It's going to be possibly taking engagement on the west side here as well with the Protectorate versus Protectorate. It's a Protectorate civil war on this side with a Juggernaut and 3 strikers. And, well, Dr. Dorrington, he's looking firm on that side as well. Thrall numbers looking to really start to escalate here. Liquid with a great economy now with the 5th base core base expansion. That's 1,000 hexite coming in per minute. And Liquid is macroing it up fantastically in this game. But still holding firm on top of this ramp with a couple of strikers. And I thought I maybe for a second there saw a Thresher, but I don't believe we've seen a large incubator just yet for the Grell. Coming in from the south, though, change of attack angle, and he's caught them on a little bit unawares. These units aren't being effective. The massive Thralls really starting to escalate. Liquid coming in with a huge number of army, and the piercing shot comes up as well. And, well, look, Badman, he's joining in. He's joining in for sure. On the west side, couple of gunships and commandos takes the engagement here. The Thralls kind of getting caught off a little bit. There's still a decent number of in them. Protecting the strikers out there. And the strikers are getting so much value. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. They've held on for so long, but we've been thinking it for a while. They've had a lot of map control for the majority of the game, right from the beginning, really. With the tech hero going down, a lot of the Guardian obelisks being deployed, really solidifying that position, and a healing one as well. And airstrike comes in there for Dr. Dorrington. Courtesy of that map control, courtesy of those talents. Thralls looking in good numbers. This is not looking good for Yolberson and Badman, down to very minimal supply. And they just need to do infrastructural damage now. It does have some Dread snipers as the mercenary unit there, Liquid. A couple of strikers there on the field for Badman as well. Getting huge amounts of value. Not much of a meat shield in front of them, but he probably doesn't need it at this point. Not enough commandos there, I don't think, there for Dr. Dorrington. Sorry, for Badman, rather. And Dr. Dorrington really starting to get that an extra bit of mass in terms of economy, expanding nicely. But yeah, now attacking that core base almost are those Thralls. It looks like they're going to look to seal out the deal. The Legion really pressuring. Looking to deploy some of the Guardian Obelisks as well. 2 of them. This is looking tricky. I'm not so sure it is there. I mean, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Liquid and Dr. Dorrington progressing to the semi-finals. What a great series of Zerospace. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And, well, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you check out the semi-finals. Ultimately, that's what you wait for, right? You see these games being played out. Phenomenal games. I'll see you guys in the semi-finals.